Hello everyone, B.R. Newman here with this month's Astrology Tarot forecast, consisting of this month's most relevant astrological transits, as well as a 3-card tarot spread drawn special for your astrological zodiac sign, everyone who shares your sun sign, or you could watch this for your rising sign as well. Follow this up with a trip to my website, IamHelios.com, and check out the Choose Your Own Tarot adventure, and discover where that leads you. Also, I highly recommend getting a reading with me, either tarot, astrology, or a combination of the two, to get really specific in the most useful way. Also, you may be aware I teach this stuff. Some courses are available. Some may be enrolling now, so check it out. So, okay, Scorpio, here is your 3-card tarot spread for the month of January 2018. In this, you have a central theme, a snapshot of your current situation, and then 2-dimensional timelines on either side of this, like 2 doors. You can choose one of these 2. In your central theme, you have the 9 of discs. So this is the highest expression of Earth before it is made too much in Malkuth in the 10 on the Tree of Life. So this is associated with Sphirith 9 on the Tree of Life, Yesod. So this is collecting and balancing many facets above before it's purified into form in the 10, in which case it becomes too much. But in this case, the 9 of discs is just the right amount. It's rewards, harvest, treasure. So this is a direct benefit of your labors. It's a kind of paycheck, and that's really the subject. You know, how can you invest your time most appropriately in order to reap the greatest rewards at the end of it? So the ways in which you can be most responsible, most accountable should come into the forefront this month. It's going to take some personal examination, intentionally getting in touch with the core of your being to figure out the ways in which you can most honestly step up, and be in the greatest level of integrity you can. So from this place of integrity, you can gain quite a lot. This can be very profitable to precisely the degree that you are responsible and accountable intentionally. So from this place, you can also take one of these 2-dimensional timeline options. On the left-hand side, you have the Prince of Cups. And I should add also that on the right-hand side, you have the Queen of Wands. So you have 2 personality profiles, 2 court cards. All of these court cards in tarot are associated with the 16 Myers-Briggs personality profiles. So there are 16 court cards, and then also 16 Myers-Briggs profiles. It lines up beautifully, very conveniently. So very simply, these 2-dimensional timelines will be defined by your attitude, the way in which you decide to perceive the world. The key word here is decide. You are in control to the precise degree you take full responsibility and accountability, as was implied by your central theme here. Okay, so the Prince of Cups is actually directly associated with the ENFP personality profile in the Myers-Briggs system, which is the extroverted, intuitive, feeling perceiver. This is someone very optimistic, someone people-oriented, very creative, somebody seeking harmony, kind of life of the party, but also somebody who starts something more than they finish. So this is an experimental personality profile. It being a prince, it doesn't have a whole lot of responsibility. Unlike the queens and the knights, they have a great deal of responsibility, so they take the world very seriously, hence the last letter in their 4 dichotomies there being J, judgment rather than perception. But in this case, the ENFP merely perceives the world without having to strategize every single step of the way. They go with the flow, so this is someone who gives life an extra squeeze. They're seeking experience creatively. So that should sum up the way in which you could approach the conditions that will arise this month. Creatively, without much attachment, not taking everything too seriously, finding creative solutions to any challenges, and having fun with any of the opportunities that arise. On the other side, you have something rather different. The Queen of Wands is associated with the INTJ, someone very independent, someone very skeptical, has to do things their way. They have a high need for competency, and they see the world as a kind of chessboard upon which there is a need for great improvement in every area. So they're always looking for ways in which things can be better. Sometimes they find themselves burdened by the workload they take on. They have to do things independently, so they are not inclined to ask for help. So this is a dimensional timeline upon which you decide to tackle something very difficult on your own. This is very different. It's taking something very seriously and taking on full responsibility. And this, of course, when put in the context of your central theme, can be a very good thing. This can really work out for you. The Prince of Cups is not necessarily responsible or accountable. It sounds fun, it sounds nice, and it definitely it seems more pleasant in contrast to this Queen of Wands dimensional timeline. However, this Queen of Wands timeline may in fact be more profitable for you. You might find that this is precisely the direction you need to go at this time in order to take full advantage of the opportunities being presented by your central theme, the 9 of Discs. There is very likely some kind of harvest waiting for you. There are rewards waiting to be reaped. However, you have to actually do it. When the harvest is ready, you can't just sit back and let it rot. And so that may be, that may be materializing in your life in one way or another. If that's the case, then you'll know that the right-hand dimensional timeline is for you. If that is not the case, then perhaps you're taking something, maybe you're taking too much, a little too seriously, and you'll be able to determine which is most relevant to you upon, some personal reflection. This is a general reading applying to everyone who shares your sun sign, so it's going to take some of that personal reflection. In which case, the left-hand dimensional timeline is the path for you. Maybe the responsible thing is to actually let go of the abundance, the overabundance of responsibility that you have given yourself. Maybe it's time to prioritize self. Maybe it's time to, rather than consistently seeking some goal, or perhaps even out of obligation, parental pressures, peer pressures, or whatever that might be, maybe it's time to actually fill up your own glass before you, carry on letting it overflow into everyone around you. So again, personal reflection is key here. In this reading, we have the luxury of seeing two very different dimensional timelines, so that outlines a very simple dichotomy for you to work with. A healthy dose of selfishness on the left-hand dimensional timeline, or doing everything you can to shore up everything you can. So this reading I gave you here sets the stage. To take this further, go to my website, IamHelios.com, and take the Choose Your Own Tarot adventure. With the context defined by this tarot spread in mind, this will take you through a much more elaborate tarot reading, and ultimately a fate card, and a very specific frequency that will help you bring out the best aspects of this fate card. That should be fun. For the most useful specifics possible, of course, contact me for a reading. So let's dive right into the good stuff. You might want to write down some of these dates. January 1st through the 2nd is the full moon. Now this is happening in Cancer at 11 degrees. This means completion, this means fullness, and in Cancer this concerns the home, family, compassion, and through these forces, it can align you with your most authentic self. And then also on the 2nd you'll have Sun in Capricorn sextile Neptune in Pisces. This increases intuition, and it might actually send some insight through dream time. On January 3rd, you'll have Venus sextile Neptune in Pisces, and this might bring some romantic possibilities, so look out for that. When you combine the influences of Venus in Capricorn with Neptune in Pisces, you get this vast grasp on what is possible concerning matters of romantic fulfillment or sensual satisfaction being made manifest in a very tangible and practical way, so you might see this materialize before you as opportunities. So again, look out for that. On January 6th, you'll have Mercury in Sagittarius trine Uranus in Aries. So this could bring some really good news. It could bring the aha moment, some kind of epiphany. If some kind of greater level of clarity comes, start making plans, start developing strategies from this place. Also, I should add, this month is free of any retrogrades, so this is a wonderful time to start planting seeds and doing precisely as I had suggested. Start making plans, start implementing these plans, start operating actively from this place of clarity, from this new beginning, this launch pad here in January. It is a rare gift that we have the start of a new year free of any retrogrades, so please take advantage of this. It could be very fruitful, very profitable for you. Consider this fact also on January 8th, you'll have Mars in Scorpio sextile Pluto in Capricorn. This increases your powers of concentration and focus. It actually helps you to perhaps more practically and productively implement ideas, developing sustainable systems that work for you, systems that diligently operate on many dimensions in favor of the highest benefit possible for you. Then we come upon what we could call a zone of challenge between January 12th and 14th. On the 12th, you'll have Mercury conjunct Saturn in Capricorn. So both planets are in Capricorn, of course, and so this means that new information could come that could perhaps provide the incentive and the means to reevaluate your plans and shore some things up, tie some loose ends. And then on the 13th, you'll have Venus in Capricorn square Uranus in Aries. This could be where unexpected expenses come up, and this could be also a continuation of that Mercury in Capricorn conjunct Saturn in Capricorn on the 12th. Both the incentive and the means to start rethinking things, tying up some loose ends and getting really clear about everything, so it's actually an opportunity. One that offers a bit of a clue, a bit of a key or remedy here, with Venus in Capricorn sextile Chiron in Pisces, also on the 13th. Intuitively guided beautification or aesthetic alignment in favor of spiritual inspiration, beautification done with the intent to bring about new inspiration, new insights, and so on. You might find that a little can go a long way. It's probably pretty important to take advantage of that opportunity on the 13th, because on the 14th you'll have Sun in Capricorn square Uranus in Aries. And this can bring about a kind of disturbance or distraction, something that shakes you up slightly, perhaps temporarily blurring your vision, so to speak. So it's nice to have something to fall back on. On the 15th, you'll have two things going on: Sun in Capricorn, sextile Chiron in Pisces, and Jupiter in Scorpio, sextile Pluto in Capricorn. So considering the combination of these two transits, it's pretty clearly implied that the disturbance occurring on the 14th would be slightly inconsequential and may in fact serve to the greater glory of your vision and your intent and your purpose, as these two transits do in fact bring a little more light, a little more clarity. You could attract some help. You could find yourself motivated to work hard and find that work pans out immediately. So take advantage of that. Now that you know this is occurring, you can deliberately do so. Deliberately put some extra time aside, a little more focus, a little more energy into something, and it should go further. I suspect you will have learned something by this point, perhaps something about the quality of your own character, that will compel you to more confidently apply yourself to the task at hand, leading you into the new moon on January 16th. Now this is at about 27 degrees in Capricorn. Very powerful moon. It's conjunct Pluto and Venus, offering transformative potentials in love and money and finances, resources and sensory pleasures, etc. It's sextile Jupiter, which just brings it all to the nth degree, makes it more possible, more expansive. It's sextile Mars, bringing greater focus, attention, action, a tendency to do rather than to not do, to act rather than not act, and make something profitable, make something work, see something through rather than passively observe or drift by. Sextile Chiron, which may compel someone to help you, to lend their hand to your cause. But lastly, it is also square Uranus, which brings about something completely unpredictable, a kind of wild card, some element of this, some edge to this new moon that you will not be able to foresee. But this may actually be to the benefit of the rest of the transits, considering how powerful they are, how numerous they are. They're likely to define the context and the setting, and this unpredictable element, you could say, may actually just be icing on the cake. It may be entirely beneficial to you, but it will be something that you don't expect. There is some element of the unexpected. If you take it on willingly and accept it, embrace it, it'll be much less likely to materialize in an abrasive or uncomfortable manner. This will lead right into Mars and Scorpio trine Chiron in Pisces on January 18th, and this could compel you to look deep within yourself for the purpose of unification, perhaps finding ways to reconcile differences between contradictory facets of your existence, seeking and hopefully finding profound meaning as a kind of common denominator between many aspects of yourself to give you purpose and focus. And then on January 24th, you'll have Mercury conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. Look for an opportunity to take action. It should be quite clear. If you are meant to take action at this time, you'll feel it. So act on that. Present something, launch something, start implementing something. Follow your heart, be cautious, but don't overthink things. In any case, it's likely to be a very powerful period. On January 25th, you'll have Mercury in Capricorn sextile Jupiter in Scorpio. If you want your voice, your message, your vision to be clearly heard and seen and understood, this is the time to speak. Communicating very clearly on this date can help tremendously the nature of these next few transits, most notably Mercury in Capricorn square Uranus in Aries. New, perhaps unexpected information could come in that might confuse you or those you are working with, but if your foundational intention and vision were adequately conveyed and articulated beforehand, then this potential for confusion shouldn't derail anything. Just keep up the momentum, keep working, keep your vision clear, because this month closes out with a full moon lunar eclipse on January 31st. This is occurring in Leo. You can expect a sense of completion, fruition, a culmination of all of your efforts. This potential is very unlikely to go unnoticed, occurring in Leo. It's likely to be beautiful, dramatic, extravagant, very inspiring, so make sure you notice it. Make sure you make it conscious. Whatever happens at the end of this month, embed it in your mind. Remember it. It could serve as a source of inspiration for a long time to come. This will bring with it a powerful surge of energy. The conscious application of your intent will keep this within the realm of the beneficial. Watch it carefully, not to control its manifestation, but to align it with the truth of your being. Don't forget about it and thus make it random. Make it conscious, make it deliberate. So align this potential and all potentials this month with the truth of your existence, found at the core of the heart of your being, your most authentic self, perhaps first glimpsed at the first of the month for the first full moon, bringing this all around full circle.